Whenever the mainstream media covers West Bank, the news will be ablaze with never-ending stories of violence. Journalists and geopolitical analysts over time have penned innumerable stories that offered solutions to end the interminable dispute in the landlocked territory near the coast of the Mediterranean. But nothing seems to be working on the West Bank, as with every passing day the tensions got raised to apocalyptic proportions. Keeping all the generic solutions aside, Israel is plotting a new move that could end the West Bank dispute for good. And based on the clues dropped, it is Jordan who is the dark horse in this move. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and if you haven't subscribed to TFI Global channel yet, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates, and please install our Apple and Android mobile app. The link is given below in the description. Every attempt that Israel pursued to end the conflict in the West Bank did nothing but only worsen the situation to a further low. And now Tel Aviv has discerned it's time to revisit the Jordanian angle. West Bank was once under the powerful clout of Jordan, which ruled the area from 1948 to 1967. It was only after Israel wielded success with the partial annexation that Jordan distanced away from the region when the late King Hussein of Jordan renounced his country's sovereignty claims in the favor of the Palestinian Liberation Organization. The political happenings in this region made Jordan step aside to give more leeway for Palestine to move on with its dream run of creating an independent state in the region. But the reality says that dream is nowhere near success. Even though Israel is still to completely annex West Bank, it is well written in the picture about how Tel Aviv could push its military might to get hold of the region. It may be just a matter of days, but Israel is wary about the geopolitical repercussions if they smart such a move. Minding this fact, Israel's inner circle of political elites has now advocated a Jordanian-Palestine confederation in the disputed land of the West Bank. Outsiders not having a clear idea about the happenings in this region may tend to feel like Israel is committing a grave mistake with this move. But do you seriously hold the belief that Jews are such naive? A Jordanian-Palestinian confederation has more compelling logic in terms of economics, religion, history, and memory. Palestinian nationals who once vowed for an independent state in this region have moved on with their stance. A sizable number of Palestinians in West Bank are destitute. They are just fulfilling their day-to-day needs in meager ways that they can afford. These people have seen it all, and they don't want their life to be galvanized in violence and hatred anymore. So a Jordanian option can win hearts, since the long history of the Jordanian-Palestinian alliance is still intact. But history has moved on. Jordan's establishment is an environment of threats, mainly emanating from Iran over the northern Iraq dispute and the sway that Jordan commanded over its dealing with Aqaba port. The Lebanon water crisis and the drug inflow from Syria to Amman through Iranian-backed channels also created a speck of rivalry between the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan and the Shiite Iran regime. Adding up all together, it was adept for Jordan to side up with the right people, so it did with Israel. In 2012, Crown Prince Hassan bin Talal of Jordan said that since no two-state solution was still possible, the Palestinian Authority should let Jordan recover its control of the territory in West Bank. Even in 2008, former Prime Minister of Jordan, Abdel Salam Majali, proposed plans for a Jordanian-Palestinian confederation based on equal representation of the two states, with a Palestinian and a Jordanian rotating in the position of Speaker and Prime Minister. The king would be the head of state, not in his capacity as Jordan's king, but as the descendant of the Hashemite dynasty. The global issue of the present has made Jordan the new close confidant of Israel. Tel Aviv, on its part, is appalled by the plummeting numbers of Jewish demographic predominance in the historical region of West Bank, and Israel won't be able to single-handedly pursue its targets in this region simply with its military might. Even if they brave such a move, it will be ensuing mayhem and nothing more. So, Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett is currently treading a line of pragmatism and is taking guidance from the plan proposed by former Prime Minister Ehud Olmert in 2007. Jordan has a history of dominance in this region, and they simply won't like terror outfit Hamas getting into the West Bank terrain. For Israel, they will be getting a new interlocutor in West Bank who will act in compliance according to the need of Tel Aviv to help counter the Iranian offense.